Estuary news today. A man who died in a crash on the A180 is named, and a bumper year of heritage in Hull. Plus Jack will be here with all the sport, and I'll be speaking to Emily McLeave and Ben O'Donoghue about a hit show coming to Scunthorpe, and Michelle will be here for a City of Culture roundup. A man who died in a crash on the A180 earlier this week has been named. Sonny Kiss of Cleethorpes sustained fatal injuries in the collision near the Barnaby Top junction, causing several miles of tailbacks around the area. Sonny was 24 and died when the Nissan Micra he was driving in collided with a green tipper truck and a Vauxhall Astra on Monday morning on the eastbound carriageway. Hull's Heritage Open Days are bigger and better than ever this year. They're now running a 6-day programme instead of 4 as they lift the lid on some of Hull's secrets that aren't otherwise seen by the public. For the first time, the event will also take in Beverley, with some of the town's most famous landmarks also being opened up. There'll also be a special event taking place at Beverley Gate, which has recently undergone its transformation.
This is very famous for the fact that it was here in 1642 that King Charles and his men were refused entry into the city at the Beverley Gate. This really heralded the start of the Civil War, and so it's nationally famous. And so what we're going to do is a reenactment of that on Saturday for the Old Town Feast, when the Lord Mayor will graciously come here and we will bar him from going into the city. And the raving maids will be there, the dancers, lady dancers with their sticks, and they will stop him going in until his name has been found on the list, and then he'll be allowed to go forward. This year's Heritage Open Days is a very special one. It's the biggest one we've ever done, in fact, and the reason for that is, of course, that it's Hull City of Culture year, and we thought that as a civic society we ought to do our bit to make it bigger and better. But the fact is that Hull's version of Heritage Open Days, which is a European and national event, actually is the biggest in the country. So we're quite pleased about that. So this year we've made it, instead of being the standard 4 days, it's 6 days. The brochure, and here it is, instead of being the usual 60-odd pages, is 80-odd pages this year. It's absolutely full of very interesting features and stories and talks and walks, and of course about 70 open buildings. We're particularly pleased this year that we've been able to involve the Beverley Civic Society in joining in putting the programme together. So really it's a bumper edition for celebrating the heritage of the whole of our region, so we're really pleased about that.
Police are appealing for witnesses to a road traffic collision which happened yesterday afternoon in Hull city centre. The occupants of the 2 vehicles involved sustained minor injuries after their cars collided on the busy Mytongate roundabout. And a scheme which has seen 30 defibrillators installed in part of Lincolnshire has been nominated for a national award. They've been installed across West Lindsey and mean that urgent care can be provided within communities before an ambulance arrives. Councillor Sheila Bibb of West Lindsey District Council says they're delighted with the nomination, which has come from the UK Heart Safe Awards. I'm now joined by my 4 guests this evening, Emily McLeave and Ben O'Donoghue, here to talk about a hit show coming to Scunthorpe's Plowright Theatre. But you're not alone.
No.
First then, tell me a little bit about, for the people that are maybe the less initiated, about some of the artistic delights of Scunthorpe. What are you offering?
Okay, Princeton, do you want to have a go?
Sure. Well, what we're offering is at the Plowright Theatre in Scunthorpe, we are bringing the musical Avenue Q.
Yeah, it's great. It's essentially an adult kind of puppet show, and there's lots of fun in it, puppets and humans, and we all get along and sing and just really have a good time.
Now is it fun for all the family?
It's not, is it?
No. It is. We put an advisory age limit of 15 on it because there are some.
This is Ben now, not Princeton.
Just to clarify for the viewers. Yeah, there are some themes in it.
Some adult themes, I think that's the best way of describing it, isn't it? Adult themes,
but obviously it's suitable for children, should adults decide.
Yeah, 15 is just there as an advisory, but it's a kind of parental discretion.
Tell us a little bit about Avenue Q then. What's the origin of it?
It's Princeton here has just graduated from college, and he's trying to work out what his purpose in life is. So he's moved into the first cheap apartment he can find, and he's going through trying to get a job just to scrape together while he works out what he wants to do, and he meets a lot of new friends on the way.
One of them being Kate, who actually winds up being Princeton's love interest throughout the musical, and so it kind of, there's couples all the way through it, but it focuses on Kate and Princeton and their kind of relationship, as well as Princeton trying to find out what he's going to do with his life now. His graduated with a BA in English.
A problem we've all had.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, a lot of people have. No, I wouldn't say we all have. Importantly then, details, how can people get involved to come and see it, and when is it running from and to?
So it's at the Playwright Theatre. It runs.
Scunthorpe,
we open, in Scunthorpe. We open a week on. We open on Tuesday, which is the 12th of September, and we run to the 16th of September, being Saturday. Tickets. We've got an offer on the Tuesday night. Tickets are £10 on the Tuesday and £12 for the rest of the week. You can ring the box office. You can go into the Playwright or the Bass Hall. You can buy them online through the Playwright or the Bass Hall website.
Okay, and I should ask before we go. I'm not sure if I should be asking yourselves or the puppets, but what's it like to work with your opposite numbers?
It's difficult. I don't think people will appreciate how hard it is to have him moving and talking and keeping your hands up at the same time.
It must be a really skilled art.
It is.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and you kind of have to constantly be on the ball as if you're using the puppet and things. So yeah, but it's been really good fun. Really good fun.
Hopefully people come down from Tuesday to Saturday. Thank you
Fingers
very much
crossed.
for coming in. All
Thank
four of
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And tell you what, I won't do a link. We'll move on to Princeton, who wants to do a link for us to the sport.
Oh, okay. Now here's Jack with all the sport.
Hull City didn't receive any offers for Kamil Grosicki on transfer deadline day. That's according to his head coach Leonid Slutsky, who's been speaking to us today. Newspaper reports yesterday suggested that there was interest in the Polish international winger from a number of clubs at home and abroad, including West Brom. However, Slutsky says no side firmed up their interest.
We didn't have offer in the club about Kamil Grosicki. Yes, sorry Kamil. Yes, but it's true, and I think really it's good information for him, because serious motivation. He thought about, I had a lot of offers from another club, but really it's true, zero offer in the club about Kamil Grosicki.
The City boss also said today that he has no intention of signing any free agents. Players without a contract can be offered a deal despite the window closing, but Slutsky says business is done in his mind. As for tomorrow's night's game at Derby, Marcus Henriksen is available once again after injury, while Fraser Campbell, Andre Mazuk and Avandro will all be assessed in the build-up, and you'll be able to hear more from the Tigers boss in tomorrow's show. Elsewhere today, Russell Slade believes he will have an almost fit team for their local derby at Mansfield on Saturday. He says he will assess the damage regarding Tom Bolorunwa and Carly Osborne, who both picked up injuries during the week and are a possible doubt for Saturday.
Well, we were off yesterday, so we're back in today, checking on everybody really. There's one or two that had a break from that game. Woolley had a bit of a ankle injury and a bit of a foot injury to Carly Osborne, so we'll wait and see. And Tom Bolorunwa as well, who didn't make the bench last week in the end, also picked up a bit of a calf injury. So listen, nothing major in those injuries, but we'll wait and see if they're going to be fully fit and available for the weekend.
Jamie Osborne, who picked up a knee injury at the start of the season, says he is ahead of schedule in terms of his recovery and hopes to be playing by November if the good progress continues.
It's going well. Obviously we had a brace on for the first few weeks. I think we were saying around about 4 weeks I'll be taking it off, but actually taking it off after about 2 to 3. So yeah, I was pleased with that, and hopefully I'm ahead of schedule at the minute. So hopefully I'll be back before Christmas. Well, November I think. So we'll see.
Scunthorpe United attacking midfielder Luke Williams will miss another 2 to 3 months of action. He underwent hamstring surgery this week, having missed the start of the League One campaign. Rugby now, and Seeker Manu has been named as Hull FC's Player of the Year. The forward is star for the Black and Whites this season, helping them to lift the Challenge Cup. Brad Fash was named as the club's Young Player of the Year. Next up, FC host Wigan on Friday evening in a repeat of the Challenge Cup final. And that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Jack. Just before we go, Michelle's here with a few things to look out for in the City of Culture. What have you got for us?
Evening, yes, lots of things. Some great artists actually coming to Hull for the last quarter of the City of Culture. I always ask people to go to the City of Culture website because there is so much going on. You can't mention it.
They could do a much better job than we could.
You can't mention it in the 45 seconds or minute that we have to do this. But just a quick mention actually to September the 28th, which is the launch of a major new poetry festival called Tell the World. I think there's more than 50 events going on in the city and the East Riding, all linked to it. So fabulous. I think even if you're not into poetry, you should go along. People like John Cooper Clarke,
that's
who
what
I
City of
remember.
Culture is about, isn't it?
Exactly.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, get out and see it, because poetry isn't as you'd expect. It's not Wordsworth all the time, if that's not what you like. It's lots of other great modern stuff. So I think there'll be brilliant stuff there going on.
An incredibly short City of Culture slot this
That's
week.
it.
And that is literally it, Michelle. Thanks very much
And
for coming in.
I didn't make any poetry in that either, which is a shame.
That was a relief to me. That's it for tonight. If you've got a news story you think we should be covering, please get in touch in one of the usual ways. Call us on 01472 315 561. Email news@estuary.tv, or look out for us on Facebook or Twitter @estuarytv. Looking forward to hearing from you. Luke will be back tomorrow with his newspaper review guest, local author Sue Wilsey. From all of us on the team, good afternoon.